All right, welcome to the Town of Waterboro Planning Board meeting for August 7th, 2024. Angela, can we start with roll call?
Rick Madroga.
Here.
James Farias.
Here.
Rebecca Higgins.
Here.
Stacy Walker.
Here.
Diane Gray.
Here.
All right, next is minutes of previous meetings. So there's quite a few here, so we'll go through these. The first one is May 1st, 2024. If everybody's had a chance to read them, I don't know if anybody has any feedback, changes.
It might be a spelling error.
Okay. Oh, yeah, proprietary.
Yeah.
First paragraph.
First paragraph, yeah, first paragraph.
There might be? Okay.
It might.
I wouldn't have caught that.
I didn't.
I didn't the first time. The second you said it, it stood
I
out.
know,
Yeah.
Stacy's definitely gonna see that.
Yeah. I missed it.
Other than that, are we good with the May 1st? Do we need to approve them all in order, Angela, or can we just go through them and then approve all of them? Okay, let's do that. Then we'll make one big motion. All right, so the next one is May 15th, 2024. We didn't have a meeting, so there's no minutes. Next is June 5th, 2024. Did anybody have any questions, concerns? Nope. Okay. Next one, June 19th. There was no meeting, so there's no minutes. July 3rd, 2024, no meeting, no minutes. And July 17th, 2024, no meeting, no minutes. So can I get a motion to approve minutes for all of those dates?
I motion to approve May 1st, May 15th, June 5th, June 19th, July 3rd, July 17th minutes.
Second that motion.
All in favor? All right. Next on the agenda is public hearing. We don't have one tonight. We don't have any old business. We do have two things under new business. First thing is boat slip dock rental regulations, ordinance work development discussions. Take it this is your solo.
This is my solo. I did some research to try to find some manner of an ordinance that we could kind of work from, and it appears that we may be one of the first in the state to develop an ordinance for rental dock space.
Interesting.
That's really kind of, that obviously is spiked because of, because we have the campground, we have, the other, what is the name?
cottages.
The cottages.
Sunnyside.
Sunnyside, that's correct.
And then
Sunnyside, and then there is also another new dock by the boat launch, who is now in the process of renting dock space. So with that being
I
said,
think there's
this,
another one too.
there probably is, that I'm unaware of.
Yep.
So with that being said, that there's a challenge there for us to try to figure out how we're going to regulate that. First of all, do we develop a commercial zone for our shoreline zone and then try to isolate dock rental space to that area? Or do we just kind of throw a blanket statement and a definition out there as far as rental dock space? We could add a definition in that way. I bounced both of those off the town attorney, and he seemed to think that either way that we wanted to attack it would be acceptable. There's some obvious challenges that go along with rental dock space. The first, of course, would be parking. Because of course we can't really regulate the water because that's public land.
Right.
So we want to try to regulate the land use portion of it, which would be parking, staging, so forth. So and that's more food for thought for you folks. We kind of have to figure out how we're going to go forward with that, and that is really your decision how you think we should kind of regulate that.
And we want to regulate it what? So what's the problem we're trying to solve with the ordinance?
We're trying to
Prevent, I think.
Or prevent, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know so we.
Yeah, we're trying to, we can take Ospey Lake as a great example. Many of the landowners are already stating that there's an extensive amount of boat traffic. And the landowners obviously want to be able to reserve their space for their docking and so forth. However, if they have a friend or whatever and they'd like to they'd like to rent out space to them or commercially, as we kind of have going on at the Bouffards, I guess it is now. And he called several times in his defense, asking if we had any mechanism
Yeah.
to regulate that. And we did not at the time. The question is, should we? And if so, how do we go about that?
You said that we're the only one that, or that, I mean, other lakes or towns, I guess, don't have any kind of ordinance to regulate
We're-
dock slips?
We're unique in some aspects. Most of the towns that actually address this issue are coastal communities, and they have working wharfs. So it's kind of lumped into another category opposed to just simply rental dock space.
Right,
So like Kennebunk, places like that.
right.
Suppose they wouldn't on Sebago. Have some
It's-
marinas, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of we, as the town of Waterboro, at some point, Angela and I did a bunch of reading through the old planning board minutes, trying to figure out where we moved away from regulating docks and wharfs. Obviously, there are a whole host of issues that come along with regulating docks and wharfs. If you do that through the shoreline zoning, you're only allowed to have 2 docks. But the size restriction is worded such that it's whatever is deemed functionally dependent.
Oh, so you could have 2 docks that went stretched across the lake, right?
So there's no real, there's no real black and white
Right.
restriction. And I don't know if we necessarily want to go that far, or do we, where do we want to start with this?
Well,
I
what
guess
does the ordinance say? The docks cannot interrupt boat
boat
traffic.
traffic.
So they can't be,
And even that's kind of vague too. I mean,
right, I don't know what
like,
specifically it states.
say, people that own cottages, for example, out by Three Tree Island, if they had a 30-foot wharf that goes out into that channel, obviously that would impede boat traffic. But anybody else that lives like in the main body of the lake or anything like that, it's kind of difficult to determine what exactly would impede boat traffic. That's more along the lines for the wardens.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're really trying to figure out how to regulate the land use piece, meaning, parking, and should there be an annual fee?
And then how do you enforce that?
Yeah.
Annual-
yeah, we
annual
need
fee
somebody
for-
there.
It would be like a permit. It would be.
To use the boat launch?
It would be a different type of permit to have rental dock space.
Oh, I see.
Anything that's like commercially
Right.
viewed, anything that you would receive a monetary amount.
Should we consider moorings at the same time?
Let's not get into the harbor master piece.
Well, I'm just saying, if we start regulating boat slips, doesn't that all of a sudden lend you to just put a bunch of moorings out in front of your camp instead of?
Right now,
regulating-
there's no,
Yeah.
nothing for mooring.
Yeah, and believe it or not, there's actually more regulation on moorings than rental dock space.
Really?
Yeah, well, that also lends itself to coastal areas
Gotcha.
as well. And commercial working wharfs.
Right,
You
because
know-
you have to moor your boat here, skip.
Exactly. So it's just kind of food for thought. My immediate response was, okay, we'll just come up with a definition for dock rental. And then apply a parking restriction for each available slip. Say we'd have 10 by 20 parking space for each available slip.
Where?
It would have to be on the owner's premises.
That's
On
not,
the owner's
yeah, that's not gonna happen on 3 of those places.
Well, this is.
Mike's only got 10 spots,
Well, this
9
is-
spots.
Right,
He's got 18 slips.
right. Exactly.
Campground, they don't have any parking, do
He has
they?
18
Well, they-
slips.
Well, I guess they're,
They could
And
use
their
their,
residence
they could use their campsites.
right.
Sunnyside cottages, the same, it would be each.
Yeah.
Each unit
True.
rental. But then, again, we're in the regulatory piece or enforcement piece as to how do we determine that somebody that has a slip at,
That's
say,
a place.
Sunnyside Cottages
Right.
is actually renting the
Right.
cottage space from.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, and it's, I thought about it initially and just figured that, maybe we could just come up with a definition and something relatively easy. And then the more I delve into it, I'm like, ew, this is quite an animal to get your arms around. That's why I don't have any examples or anything for you today. I'm like, ooh, okay, which way do we go? Let's see what the board's pleasure is.
Yeah, we were running into this with all the parking down there and not be able to enforce anything we do.
Although I will say this, they put more signs up and
And that's helping.
I haven't seen any trailers or anything.
There was
on that
one
side.
day that somebody squeezed between two of the signs.
Was there?
One day,
Really?
and they were only there for a short period of time, because I forget where he went, maybe Alfred, and they were in there, and by the time I came back, they weren't there, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't go by a lot, I
Yeah.
go by a decent amount. That seemed to help between that and the sign that he put in, that Jason put in. But I think we should do something. I think there should be, the town should have something.
Sure.
I don't know
Obviously, it's kind
fair
of,
and what's good and how that's gonna be enforced.
right, so we have.
If it's a commercial thing where they're renting slips, like those three places, then there should be, I think there should be some kind of permit or fee for that.
Some type of oversight at least
Yeah,
for parking.
yeah, I mean,
Are
if
we just
somebody's
doing
got
for,
two slips and they're renting one to their buddy, it's gonna be pretty hard to,
Exactly.
right? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But if you got one house with 10, 12, 14 boats, it's pretty obvious what's going on.
Right,
And I get the people on the lake are like, the more boats, the more boat traffic. So,
and then it lends itself to, they're losing their property over it. The extensive amount of boat traffic obviously increases erosion.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's just a trickle-down effect.
It's quite a topic to try to get your arms around, so. So that's my topic for today's meeting, is try to
Okay.
prevent
Does
some.
Shapley or Acton have anything like for Mousom that you're aware of?
Nothing that
Not
I'm aware
really.
of. It's all more along the lines of marinas.
Right.
And do we classify dock rentals as marinas and prohibit it?
What's the definition of a marina, though? Does a marina have to have a building on the water? Like,
I'm not sure, we'd have to kind of delve into
Yeah.
that as well.
you know what I mean?
There's a lot of moving pieces with this.
Right.
So is the next step for what?
Let's, it probably to give the board a while to think about it.
Okay,
And then we'll get together and have a workshop, and
okay.
if you want to email me in the interim and let me know what your thoughts are, and that way I can
Yep.
kind of gather some materials so that we have some
Okay.
materials to go over.
Are we to the point where you want to set a date for a workshop, or?
Entirely the board's pleasure.
maybe this one?
Summer's
Yeah,
almost
you wanna
over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's probably wouldn't be anything effect this year.
No, no, it's gonna take us all
Yeah.
to get through
The
that.
definition in the Merriam-Webster is, for a marina, is a dock or basin providing secure moorings for pleasure boats and often offering supply, repair, and other facilities.
So it doesn't necessarily have to have supplies and facilities,
Okay.
but that word mooring.
But maybe
is
we
in
could work off of that definition
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
create something, so.
there. Sure,
When I think secure, I think there's some, like security, there's somebody
Right.
there,
Right, right,
or,
yeah, or somebody's watching.
somebody's, yeah, or maybe a camera system.
Right,
Yeah, I mean,
something.
sure.
no, that's good. Yeah, I think if we set a date, that would be
Yeah.
good. That way, we can discuss it again before
Sure.
we forget.
I went to the cops too, and one was knuckleheads hit the panic button over there, thinking it was nothing. Oh, the cops hit him.
So what do we wanna, what are we thinking here?
Today's the 7th.
I'd say at least a month. Maybe sometime in September, maybe the second meeting in September.
September, that would be September 18th, right? Thursday, Wednesday, third Wednesday?
You're right, it's gonna be difficult to try
To quantify, you're
to
gonna
try
kind
to narrow it down, because there are a decent amount of variables in there.
Is that right, Angela? September 18th, is that the third,
Sounds good. Yep.
Something to think about, for sure.
So we'll set a workshop date of September 18th?
Sure.
So when the people who live there invite company over, they don't complain about traffic then, do they? I'm asking. I'm
Curious.
I'm curious.
No, it's just the other, when it happens to the other people.
Right,
Other people
right.
have more traffic, yes, okay.
It's-
Not my yard type of thing.
Well, I was thinking, how do we keep it fair across the board? Everybody can only have one guest.
I think one thing that I kind of would like to throw out there, the use of the boat launch in general. Have we ever entertained the idea of charging, especially non-residents, to use that boat launch?
State law.
I think that's a slippery slope because we've been state funded to repair and to keep up the
Really?
launch.
Yeah, the launch itself is state-owned, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So we've been funded, then where's that money going? Because it's not going into the boat launch.
Well, it's how many, it was really nice a couple of years ago and
Yeah.
it's not so much
Well, the
now.
reason, and the one reason why it's not so nice is because I've been there numerous times, and I've watched these guys on the bass boats that don't want to get their feet wet, because they got their fancy outfits on, and they power load.
Yep.
They drive that 300 horse motor right up onto the trailer, and it leaves a big old hole with a big old sandbar.
We're dangerously heading towards, Rick, a conversation that I don't think anybody really wants to have.
No,
Yeah, I'm sure.
And this is, once again, I'm gonna bring it up in, Dennis, when he brought this to my attention originally,
Yeah.
Dennis, I mentioned that, maybe it's time for a harbor master.
Oh, yeah.
That would be somebody that would regulate the boat launch, regulate boat
That would be-
traffic,
that would be-
the no-wake zone. A lot of people would be in favor for that, but then we come up with several challenges that go along with that.
Budget?
How do we fund that?
Right.
Yeah.
How do we fund that
We
program?
hire some young kid to monitor it now, don't we? That's not a volunteer, is it?
No, you know what he
That's-
does?
no, the harbor
I know what he does,
Yeah.
That's-
He's
but
on
do
his
we pay
phone.
him? I mean,
He's on his phone
Yes.
99% of the time.
he is getting paid.
That's not a harbor master.
in Harvard, right, I know that, but I was thinking funds, and you could get rid of that. But, it would be year-round too, right? Because it would have to be
Yep,
all seasons.
right.
Right, because you'd shift to snowmobiles, four-wheelers, and boats in the
Sure.
in the winter.
That's true.
And then if that's the case, would one harbor master cover the entire town? There are 7 or 8 lakes. that
Could
we
you
need.
get that state funded with grants for like summertime, for seasonal kit, for kids who are in school for that type of thing?
Great question.
Yeah, grants, there's probably a grant out there or something.
It's a great question.
I mean, it could be
I
like a.
think it's
But I
not a
don't-
good
I don't
idea
think-
for a younger kid
further-
to be talking to these guys at all.
No, I agree.
No, it can be intimidating,
Not good.
probably,
I've seen that happen.
The further you get into that, I think the more,
Yeah.
the more opposition you're gonna face.
Yeah,
You're looking at deputy wardens.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking at law enforcement personnel,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right. We will talk more about that on the 18th.
Do you have any stats on how many boats are on that between,
No, but I can try to get some.
yeah, I don't know if you can, you probably can't go back, but maybe this year you can get an
Sure.
idea of
Oh, just
how many
registered-
boats are
Just
on the
registered,
lake, yeah.
Because that wouldn't necessarily mean they're on Osby.
I'd like to know how many boats launch during the day and how many are actually from Waterboro.
Yeah,
That would be.
that'd be harder to do,
interesting fact.
but.
I don't think as many as people think. I don't think they're all, I think it's a lot from out of town.
Sure.
Well, I'll tell you, the traffic on the lake is a lot different with the signs up. When everybody was parking down the road, the lake traffic during the day was absolutely ridiculous on the weekend. And it is better now without,
That's cool.
with the parking being blocked off. It is different, so.
That's why I always say if you try to limit it to free for local residents and a fee for people not local, maybe it would, I don't know, maybe it would. Someone's probably willing to pay $20 to launch their boat for the day.
Yeah.
So I just think the town may be able to benefit from that.
Then you run in, not to play the devil's advocate, but I guess that's kind of my job. Then you run into the fishermen that show up at 6 o'clock in the morning and they're gone by 9.
Right.
They're not gonna wanna pay $20 to get into the boat launch for the day. You know, they're gonna fish
Well,
until
there's
the lake
no-
gets busy and then they're gone.
There's no perfect fix or anything, but
No, but-
anything you can capitalize on. I mean, I don't know, I just throwing it out there.
Mhm.
I just,
Well, if you charge something, they could pay for the harbor master, maybe.
I don't think that's gonna pay for the harbor master.
Must be a big salary.
yeah, again, probably no cure-all for anything.
No, there's no silver bullet.
I'll do it.
In my head, I'm thinking, how much would that pay? And is it worth it?
Get you a hat?
Yeah, just give me a hat, put me on a boat
You
all
need a
day.
lantern.
I'll do it. If somebody needs to do it,
All right.
I'll do it.
We'll work on that
Becky's a
plan.
team, she's a team player.
I'm a team player.
It gets cold in the winter
I'm all
on that
about this
ice.
town, especially the lake.
You said there were 3 or 4 potential rental spots?
Yep,
Okay.
Definitely 3.
I think we
And-
addressed 3 of them already.
And I don't know, because I'm not on the lake, so I don't know. A dock, how many boats can dock on a dock?
It depends
how
on the
long.
size.
I don't know.
You don't have to be
Depends on
sorry.
the
Just
size.
depends on the size, yeah.
Yeah.
And the outrig,
So
you know,
Yeah,
a lot of them
depends on the boat,
have
depends on.
T-sections, you know, and then all of a sudden you have a dock that
They
would
could keep
accommodate.
going and going and going and going?
So my
Okay.
parents have 2 docks in front of their camp.
Yep.
And we can put 4 pontoon boats
Okay.
on it, technically.
If you look at the one next to the boat launch, there's a runway that goes out the middle
Yes, I've seen that one.
with T. So he's got
That takes up lake
Please
space.
tell
No.
me.
14 boats in there right now.
Wow.
There's
There's
one
plenty of
Wow,
structure.
people
that's a
griping
lot.
about that.
Yeah, and
How
it's
come
tight.
he gets to do that, put the dock out there?
It's
How
it's
come
tight
he
getting
gets
in and
to?
out,
Yeah,
real tight.
okay.
Well, we don't have any regulation,
We don't have
that's
any
why we're
regs,
here.
okay.
So we
That's
can
good to
do
think
this.
And it's
about.
got a dock on way to the left and a dock way to the right with 2 boats on each side. So
Is
he's got
there,
18 boats altogether, 18 spots, plus 2 jet skis.
is there a dock, preferred dock system? Like homemade, grandfathered one from 1800s might probably, we shouldn't build one this year, you know? Or is there, I mean, can we, are those things you want us to think about as well? Is just, if we're gonna
No.
dock, what goes with it?
The majority of how they're classified is temporary and permanent,
Yep, okay,
okay? And 99% of all docks are temporary because they're pulled out in the fall.
Right.
okay, that's,
around
But
here
Osby
anyway.
does have some permanent.
And it's like next to impossible to get a permit, because you actually have to get a permit from the DEP to put in a permanent dock.
okay, cool,
So,
all right, homework.
Just have to spend some time on the boat, on the lake, in order to assess the situation.
That'll
for
be a
the next
workshop.
meeting. Yes, we can make it a workshop.
We could make a workshop.
Who's got a pontoon? Does Angela have a pontoon? I got a boat, but it only sits about, I can probably put 8.
There you go.
We're fine.
Plenty big.
Call it
call Jim,
research.
call Jim Rosakis. He's one of
7
the
of us.
300 horse
Yeah.
pontoon boats that we were talking about.
All right. Good with boat slips?
Yes.
All right. Next item is nutrient management plan ordinance amendment discussion.
She's out of the country.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
We found out after
I,
that.
What is
I
it?
only have one thing to state about the nutrient management plan. It's there for a reason. It's there for a reason. The nutrient management plan obviously is to help us keep from contaminating with
Yeah, control.
obviously livestock.
Right,
So, you know, and we have mechanisms in the ordinance that tell us how many animals that you can have per acre, or per space, so. The to kind of move away from the nutrient management plan, I think would be a bad move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't
But-
think the plan was to
Yeah,
move
more
away from
away
it,
from
it was
it,
the
yeah.
terminology within the
To
ordinance
restructure.
was what the challenge was, because
Perfect.
this whole, the state not letting it go. So really what we wanted to read is that there has to be one in place, because then the state has jurisdiction over it. So we weren't looking to get rid of that.
Right.
We just needed clearer wording on there as to whether there was, because it was confidential but not confidential, and
Right.
so it was just a matter of
Yeah.
changing that wording a little bit in order to make it so that we didn't need the document itself.
I missed that meeting.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, not really, yeah, it
Don't
was.
panic.
It's fine.
That was actually great.
So I think Michaela was going back to look to see how other people had it worded within their water district so that we could figure out the right wording.
Sure,
and
perfect.
Make it applicable,
Phew.
enforceable, I
And
guess.
less confusing,
Yes.
because I got a little.
It got dicey.
It got dicey.
It got dicey.
It got dicey
It got
for a
dicey.
bit, and
Yeah.
I'm like, she kept coming back, and,
Yeah.
so.
Well, they didn't really want to divulge anything. That was the problem. All I was looking for was a letterhead saying that they had one.
Yeah, no, keep it, yeah, something that simple,
Yes.
just to, you know,
Yes.
satisfy.
So,
All right, so we'll wait until Michaela's back in the country.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Tough life.
All right, next is communications. Do we have any, Angela? No? Next, miscellaneous. Anything?
one other item that I would just like to bring up, just for food for thought,
Yes.
is I've got a lot of calls during the summer, and primarily around the lake, regarding noise ordinance. Specifically, what time crews can start working.
Oh,
Now, so,
Oh,
Who's
So
working
now-
in Waterboro?
I'm not
I'm
sure.
sorry. I didn't
sure.
say that, I didn't come out right.
It's kind of a tough one too, because you have mechanical logging crews, they start at 4 o'clock in the morning.
right, right.
In often places.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely,
then
yeah.
some of them are noisy and some of them are not, you know, it depends on if they start the sawhead before 6.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
so, there's a lot to think about there as far as the noise ordinance is concerned. Is it something that we really want to go after? Because if they're making a substantial disturbance before like 7 o'clock in the morning, I believe that some manner that's disturbing the peace, and that turns into
Is
a
there-
criminal.
Would that,
That-
right, because that would, so that would
That's
save
the
the.
sheriff's office.
Would that
Yeah.
hurt businesses, like the loggers and whatnot? They wouldn't be able to start working until.
Potentially.
Is there anything in
Who's
place?
lighting off a sawhead anywhere near the lake?
Construction, they shouldn't be.
Right.
But what specifically, it's construction crews, and then you have your tree crews that are trying to clean up from the mess that we get this
Yeah.
spring.
That's a good.
And they're
So,
starting
it's not necessarily a saw head, but, you know, the
chainsaw.
crane pulls in and the chainsaw starts, and
That's temporary.
that's, exactly.
So.
Let's hope.
Is there 7 o'clock? Is there,
Is there an existing noise ordinance?
No, there is
Okay.
not. That's the
Yes.
question. Is
That's
it-
been
is
an
that
issue
something
in
that-
town for many,
Has it?
many
Is
years.
that something that we want to entertain?
I think there should
Keep
be-
in
I
mind,
think
if
there
you're
should be
doing this,
something.
you're also talking about dogs tied outside.
You're right.
Also fireworks.
Fireworks, I was just thinking of that.
I always
They're
thought it was
going
10
off all-
o'clock. I always thought it was after 10 o'clock, it was illegal to shoot off fireworks, but I've heard them numerous
Except for
times.
on, I think, New Year's Eve and 4th of July, but there is a time,
Oh, holidays, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. I think that's state law.
And do we even want to go down that road? That's another, that's just throwing it out there. This is
you
what
get
I-
a lot of
that-
phone calls, you mentioned, Mike?
I've got a few, yeah,
Enough to bring it up here, I mean.
A few
few.
this year, a few over the last few years.
Few over the last month.
Okay.
Ironically-
Localized, condensed
Well,
complaints.
when it's 85
Same
degrees
thing.
by 7:30,
I was gonna say, I can understand
people
working
wanting to
early.
start at the crack of dawn, you know?
Well, as a former contractor, As a former contractor in the summer months,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Oh,
if
yeah,
it's gonna be
okay.
100 degrees, you're starting when
at
it's,
5,
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and then you're done by 11.
right,
I can
right.
understand that, and I
If
think
you're a
that
roofer, you're
that should be.
Done
not
by
up there at
10.
noon time.
By 10, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
so-
during the week is one, and then weekends, people can sleep
A little
in. I
bit
mean,
longer,
yeah, just,
It's
But
just something
do
to,
we wanna go there?
do you want to go there? That's the question. I said that I would bring it up, and I did.
Well, we'll just keep it right down here, miscellaneous as a thought.
Well, is it gonna make
It's
your job easier if there is something in place?
Nothing about that is going to make my
Oh,
job any
It
easier.
would make it
no.
more difficult.
Yeah, I think so too.
On call.
Something else to
Because like you said.
5 o'clock in the morning, I'd be getting an address.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I know
We don't
that when
wanna
I
do
cook,
that.
the smoke alarm goes off all the time, so. Just tell me I don't have to, I'm good.
So do we want to put that as something as new business?
Or
On
next,
an agenda?
Up to the board.
to just discuss whether we want to go there. What would be the benefits, pros and cons?
Yeah, with the pros and cons.
yeah, you gotta make a list,
Yeah.
because like Mike
Yeah.
said, we don't want him to get annihilated on phone calls because it's 10:05 and
Right.
somebody's shooting off fireworks, or if it's 5:45 in the morning and someone started up a compressor or something, you know?
Could be
Do
a
we-
limited
People gotta be
discharge
reasonable,
firearm.
too.
Do we want to do both in the workshop on the 18th?
I know, because then you, I mean, what about hunting
Yeah, I think that
season?
makes sense.
Yeah. right.
Talk about
So
ghost
nobody
tips
can
and-
Nobody
fire their
can-
weapon
Could
Could we
before 7?
differentiate between personal and business? We could, probably.
Then somebody's gonna say, my 5 uncles are putting my roof on at 6:30.
Saturday morning.
Yeah,
Because it's humid.
and they're not a business.
Yep.
It's just a discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean,
And there's, like you
Worth
said,
going
there's a
through.
whole
So-
list of pros and cons
Yeah.
that we could, and it would be great to have them in the minutes if, as this comes up, if we decide not to do something like this, it would be great to have them in the minutes moving forward, so for us to refer to, saying, okay, we did take a look at this, however, here's our list of pros and cons, and the
There's no
board
value.
decided against it, or they decided
Yeah.
for it.
Do you think we have time on the 18th to discuss both slips and noise?
if we,
Sure.
Or do you
rather
think it's
than
two
have
separate?
some,
Oh,
do our
sure.
homework and,
Well, if it's, becomes a lengthy meeting, we could always
Extend
table it till,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
cool.
Yeah, so let's do both. We'll discuss boat slips and noise ordinance in that workshop on the 18th. Or we'll start there and then we'll see where it takes us.
Excellent.
Anything else? All right, so then we are at adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second that emotion.
All in favor?
I have been waiting for this time all day.
You're the one